Alrighty. Good morning. Welcome to class. We'll get started in about 1 more minute. Yay. Alrighty. So here we go. Good morning, everybody. You grab your 2 blocks. You make sure you have space for yourself. And a wall. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and start with a calf stretch. So we take the left foot forward. My right foot is at least hip width apart and behind me. And as a loving reminder, the further apart your feet are front to back and the wider they are left to right will give you more space if you feel imbalanced or maybe if your calves feel tighter than normal today. Push that left knee back. Let's say good morning to your left leg. Looking for some twitchiness in the feet. If it's too twitchy or you can't be balanced well enough for calf stretching, you just slide yourself over to the wall. Take a fingertip. You can either be facing the wall with the wall in front of you, or you can have the wall just to the side. And eventually walk that right foot closer and closer to the block. Everyone's breathing, your head's reaching straight up. Pick up your toes. And with the toes picked up, try to spread the toes wide. One more breath. And then, of course, we shake that out. Still standing on the right foot, we're going to take the left foot straight back, and we're going to roll onto the top of the foot. You have a inside and outside of the foot, and we want to keep the weight towards the inside or the big toe side of the foot that is back now. And you can start with the leg straight, and then gradually you can start bending the left knee, shifting the hips back, trying to put a little bit more weight through the left foot into the floor. Trying to get a little more of your foot on the ground. And you shake that left foot out. Ooh. Do a little walk around, feel your feet. Notice if there's a difference. And then you flip your block for the second side. Take the right foot forward. That right heel is solid on the ground. Fighting to keep the right leg straight. You see how deeply you can breathe, how much rib cage movement you can get in the upper body. Now you pick up your right toes. Spread them apart. Might require an eyebrow raise, or maybe your hands have to spread as moral support. 3, 2, shake that right foot out. And now standing on the left foot, we slide the right foot directly behind us. You roll them to the top of the back foot, which should now be the right foot. See if you can feel the big toe side of the foot on the ground, not so much the pinky toe. And why that's important is if you stretch the outside of your foot, what that makes you better at is spraining your ankle. And I don't think that that's why you're here right now. But if it is, now you know. And gradually you can start bending the right knee. You shift the hips back. And then we shake that right foot out. Yay. Walk around. Keeping the head up, you just notice. Beautiful. Then we come back to center. You're going to interlace your fingers. This is the chicken wing. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. Squawk, squawk, maybe? And this is how you dislocate your shoulders. You let the elbows come up and you take your arms back. So don't do that. You squeeze the elbows in and we're going to catch the head just about at the neck. Squeezing the elbows in, you push your hips back, and then you try to point the elbows towards the ceiling. And your hands are right here to protect your neck. We never want to, we call this crunching the back of the neck. This is your handy, honest way to make sure that's not happening. Now with the hips pushing back, the elbows reaching up, you add a little bit of pressure. So I gently push the back of my head into the hands. And the hands resist. You try to point the elbows even upper. And I keep the hips where they are. Reach the right elbow up higher than the left. As the right elbow reaches up, you press the hips back. And then we switch. Upper body leans to the right. Hips are pushing back. I'm not leaning my hips to the left. I'm trying to keep the hips right where they are. Huge inhales. And then back and forth. Awesome. Back to center. One more breath. And then you help your head back to neutral. Relax the arms. Give them a nice swing. Keep swinging the arms. And the arms are relaxed. I'm not bending too much at the elbows. I'm being mindful of not letting the elbows be snappy. And now as you swing your arms, you close your eyes. Feeling the movement of the arms through space. Noticing that your arms are heavy. Maybe you feel a nice stretch in the shoulders. Try not to let the head come forward as the arms swing back, especially. We're forcing blood into the hands. We're decompressing all the tight stuff in the neck. And now you see if you can take an inhale for 4 arm swings. Just 4. You inhale. 3, 4, and then you exhale for 4. One more breath. Perfect. Open your eyes. Let's go ahead and stretch out your chest. So you're going to go ahead and walk over to the wall. You're going to take your left arm forward. Your palm is on the wall, the hands on the wall. Fingertips are going to be pointing to the left. And now we catch the right arm behind the back. Both shoulders pull down. We open up towards the right. And you turn the feet until you get a nice little stretch in the left side of your chest. Now you want to be on a wall where the fingers cannot be off of an edge. It lessens the amount of sensation you feel. The fingers being straight is actually a change maker, a difference maker in your ability to feel your hands. So everyone's pulling the shoulders down, the hips are back. Close your eyes. You're inhaling into wherever you feel this. It could be the left shoulder, possibly down through the forearm, maybe to the fingertips, hopefully to the fingertips. And now we're going to step the feet forward, maybe an inch or two, not a whole lot. Left shoulder is still down. Now you push the left hand into the wall. Grip with your fingers. Trying to let go of any resistance that you're feeling across the arm. One more breath. And then we take those feet back. Shift the weight forward. Let the hands slide down the wall. Oh, yay. Swing the arms and feel a difference. All right, second side. So you turn around, face the wall. Good morning. Good morning, Angela. Hi. Good morning, Dad. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. My right arm comes forward. My fingertips are pointing to the right. I've aligned my right, the heel of my right palm up with the right shoulder. And now with the right shoulder down, 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 down. You turn the feet to the left. You puff the chest up. Close your eyes. Remember, this hour is an opportunity for you to feel your body. You don't try to fix or change a thing. You get the space to be where you're at. That is as far as your mood goes, to where your shoulders are tight, where your feet are tired, where your back is achy. All that stuff gets to be just as it is, and we explore and see if we can impact it. See if we can get your ability to feel the sensations much better. Very good. We take the feet forward. Enough so that I have weight pushing through my right hand into the wall. You keep the right shoulder back and down. Grip with your fingers. Crush the index knuckle into the wall. And now we push that right hand into the wall. Chest is up, slow inhales. Expanding each breath into the chest, into the elbow, to the forearm, to the fingers. And then we step the feet back. One more breath right here. Notice the difference even in this beginning position. And then let that hand slide down. Step forward. Feel the difference. Swing the arms. Have a taste. Wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and make our way over to the mat. Slide your blocks over using your feet preferably, so you get a little bit of foot action. And then we take our feet as wide as the mat, parallel to start with, but then we slide the heels out, so now our feet are pigeon-toed. Legs are going to stay straight. We're going to tick-tock the hips. So my upper body is essentially staying in the same place, but with my legs straight, I tick-tock the hips. Looking for something in the hips. As I drop my left hip lower than the right, I feel a stretch in the left inner thigh. Notice what you feel. Super simple and easy. Let's take a couple more breaths here, just tick-tocking. Beautiful. Now we make the feet parallel to one another. So look down at your feet, make sure they are in fact parallel with the outside edges of your mat. And then we're going to fold forward, catch your hands on the blocks. The instant we have caught the blocks, you are now a quadruped. So you're going to pull the scapula down, very much push the lower back towards the floor. And now the same movement, we've changed it a little bit. We've bent the knees, we've flexed the hips. But I still want you to be fighting for an extended spine. We're trying to arch the chest up as you wiggle the hips left to right. Now there should be never any pain in the knees. So if you do have pain in the knees, you can play around with foot distance. But mostly if your knees are experiencing trouble, it's probably because your feet are slightly turned down. So you can maybe try to turn the toes in a little bit more. Play around with that. And now I'm wiggling my hips and my upper body in opposite directions. So as my hips shift to the right, my upper body shifts to the left. And vice versa, side to side. Perfect, back to center you go. Now one more time, we're going to slide the heels out, the toes in. Slightly bend the knees. You can't tick-tock as freely, but see what you can get to expose in the back of the hip. Notice how we've just changed the position of your feet, and yet a whole different world of sensations. Beautiful. Come back to the center. Let's go ahead and heel toe the feet. So now the feet are parallel to one another again, and they are about block width apart. So it's the second widest position. A good way to space it. And then we bend the knees. You keep the arms straight, and notice if your blocks are far forward, slide them back so they're underneath the shoulders. Let's lift and lower the hips, up and down. Notice if the insides of the feet want to come up, the ball of the feet, you shift weight back towards the heel. You're trying to push the inside of the feet down and pull the knees apart. Especially as they bend the knees, that's really where the knees want to fall in. And you'll notice that I'm not quite straightening my legs. If I were to straighten my legs all the way, I would have to slouch to do it. And so I'm right on the edge of where my flexibility is. I feel just the tiniest bit of a hamstring stretch. So I'm testing the edge and then I'm backing right off. 3, 2. Very good. You sink the hips. We're going to walk the blocks so they're centered in front of the right foot. So the blocks are centered in front of the right foot. Press the right knee to the right, and we're going to shift weight over to the right leg. Then you're going to pick up the front of the left foot. That right knee is still pressing to the right. I'm not slouching. Keeping the chest up. And if this feels pretty sturdy, see if you can pick up the left foot. Completely. Arch the chest up, lighten the weight that's in the blocks. 3, 2, we set that left foot down. Come back to center, wiggle the hips and compare. And then we walk the blocks to center in front of the left foot. Left knee pushes very strongly to the left. Belly is fighting to reach down towards the floor. As I point my sternum forward, I push my left knee to the left, left, left. Don't let the knee fall in. And then we shift weight all the way over to the left. Lightening the touch of that right foot on the floor. See if you can pick up the front of the right foot. So not just the toes, only your heel is touching the ground on that right foot. And then if that's going well, you try to pick up the right foot just 1 inch off the ground. Lighten the touch of your hands on the blocks. 3, 2, 1. We set that right foot down. Back to the center. You wiggle. Perfect. And now we stack our blocks, set them aside. Come all the way onto hands and knees. Doop, doop, doop. Perfect. So my knees are not close together. They're not touching. They're about shoulder width apart. My hands, though, are wide. So my pinkies are just off the edges of the mat. Now we do the higgle. That's when you collapse hips and wiggle together. It's called the higgle. You'll notice a lot of higgles, hip wiggles, also giggles in our classes. Wiggling is such a nice way to get connected to how your body feels. We're going to be able to feel sensation without movement also. But these little wiggles actually give us a snapshot of what's going on in the joint. You can tell so much. You can tell if one side is tighter than the other side or one side is more irritated. Let's do a few knuckle push-ups here. So you're going to shift weight over to the left arm. The left arm stays straight. I pick up the right heel of the palm, index and knuckle of the knuckles of the index and middle finger on the floor, and then I alternate. Keeping the shoulders down as the heel of the palm lifts. Very good. Now these last 5 that we do, actually we'll do 6 more together. So you're going to lift the heel of the right palm, you lift the heel of the left palm, and then you slow as can be, you lower all the way to the floor. And you pick up the heel of the left palm, the right, slowly lower. Right, then left, slowly lower, left, then right. One more time, right, then left, left, then right. Beautiful. Awesome. Let's come all the way down onto elbows. Feel your hands. Spread your hands wide. I'm reaching my thumb and my pinky fingers away from one another. See if you can get a stretch in between each of your fingers. And now with the fingers stretched wide, you wiggle them. Make a tight fist, roll the wrists. Awesome. Elbows underneath the shoulders. We're going to shift weight over to the right knee, and we're going to take the left leg straight out to the side. So most of my weight is still on the right leg. There's some on the left leg, obviously, but I'm pretty square to the mat. I'm not yet leaning towards the left. We're going to do that in a moment. But for now, you just give this a chance to open. So especially, so you look over at your left foot, notice if the pinky side of your foot is on the floor, and I don't want that. I want you to pick the pinky side of the foot up, pull the toes towards the shin, and you very much try to straighten the left knee. There should be no pain in the knee. There should be no wincing in your face. And now if that's feeling all right, we're going to let this left foot slide away from the mat about 2, maybe 3 inches, not a whole lot. And now you try to reach the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Pull the shoulder blades down, you tick-tock the head, turn the head left and right, see what's going on in your neck. Ho ho, hello. Awesome. Head comes back to center. You keep the right elbow down. We're going to take the left hand to flat over and close to the left foot. Now, if your shoulder doesn't feel sturdy enough, if you have any question at all, you're just going to stay right here. You're not going to change anything else. You're just going to enjoy the ability to be in this position. But if you can, that left arm is over to the left. Pull that right shoulder down. You're going to push through the left hand, push through this right arm, and you're going to see if you can lighten the touch of your left hand, the left foot on the floor. 3, 2, yay. Set that left arm back to the center. I shift my hips to the right. It'll slide the foot back to where we started, and then I take my left knee underneath the hips. And you wiggle. Make sure there's nothing in your way on the right side, because we're about to do that one. Tick-tock the head. Very good. All right, shift weight over to the left. We take the right leg out to the right. Most of my weight is still on this left leg. You look at the right foot, make sure the pinky side of the foot isn't on the floor. We pull the toes back towards the shin, strongly dorsiflexing the right ankle. If your elbows and knees are too close, you'll sort of look like a turtle or maybe a raccoon. Raccoons are super slouchy. We have about 8 of them in our neighborhood. One of we have an older neighbor who has turned them into her cats to some degree. And so I always see them scurrying across the street. It's very silly. All right, that's feeling all right. Slide that right foot out, maybe an inch or 2. We're still dorsiflexing the right ankle. Tailbone tries to point up, up, up. Chest is still trying to face towards the front of your mat or in between the arms. All right, we push down through this left arm. If you can, you take the right arm over to the right. Keep left shoulder blade down. Keep the shoulder away from the ears. We push through the left arm, through this right hand. See if you can lift the right foot off the ground. For you, it might look just like this. And nothing happens. That's all right, too. 3, 2, Beautifully set that foot on the floor. Right elbow comes back underneath. We shift weight to the left. Slide the right foot in. Last little wiggle. Very good. Okay, so with the forearms parallel, they should be a little tired at least. We're going to push up into elbows down dog. So for elbows down dog, I'm driving my elbows into the floor. I'm trying to get my shoulders behind the elbows. Knees are soft. Relax the head. So you're letting the head be heavy. Trying to articulate the spine so that the tailbone is reaching up. And now you turn the head left to right. See what's going on there. Let's take 5 more breaths here together. Keep them slow and smooth. Because there's weight going through your upper body, it's harder to breathe here. It's harder to get the rib cage to expand, which is of course why we're doing it. So we want your intercostals, all those little muscles in between the ribs, to be nice and strong. So see if you can feel any movement, especially as you get to the top of the breath, around the throat, around the neck. Last breath. Awesome. Softly touch the knees to the floor. Walk the legs back. Oh, yay. Fold the hands under the head. Close your eyes. And allow your body to smoosh into the floor. Bend your knees. Pick the feet up. You roll the toes and roll the ankles. And we tick-tock the shins. And then stop the feet in the center. Go ahead and let the feet fall away from each other. If you need to slide the knees a little closer together, you can. Hip distance is a good space between the knees. And then see if by feel you can tell which leg is closer to the floor. Which hip has more mobility. Are both of your hip bones touching the ground, or is one more down than the other? And now using your hips, you pull the feet to the floor. 3, 2, and then one more time we tick-tock. Relax the legs all the way down to the floor and slide the elbows underneath the shoulders for reading pose. All right, good. We had 2 new sightings at our house yesterday, this week. First of all, I went outside and I heard this it sounded human almost, song, whistle almost. And I thought it was a person at first. but it was repetitive and it was spaced out exact. It was do, do, do. It's very, very somber almost. Push down through the elbows. Let's go ahead and take the forearms to flat. I'm pushing the head away from the body. My shoulder blades, my scapula are trying to get down as close to your hips as possible. And real quick, like look down at your elbows. Notice where your elbows are relative to the shoulders. Let's have them underneath the shoulders. So we don't want them wide. We do some things with the elbows wider, but for now I want them directly under the shoulders. And then once you do that, you push up again, arch up. See if you can relax lower back, relax the belly. And I have this little bird app that will tell you what certain songs are. And so it was a white-throated sparrow. That's so cool. I was thinking this morning, because Caravaggio, my youngest, likes to help me feed the birds and change the water in the morning. So I got him up and I was like, you've got to come hear this bird. And it was amazing to see his little face. Walk the elbows over to the right. Hear it for the first time. Super sweet. And then yesterday I went into our studio room at the house to get some blocks, and I looked out the window and it looked like a bright blue Easter egg was in the yard. My daughter has this, those little chapsticks that are like a circle. She has one of those that's royal blue, and I thought to myself, because she keeps leaving it out in the yard, because that's where chapstick goes when you're 15. Push through the left elbow. So my elbows have walked over to the right. I'm going to push through the left elbow, keeping the shoulder down. I'm going to take your right hand to flat, right by the right hip. You don't let this right hip come up even a little bit, but you push through the right hand, twist the chest, try to look over the right shoulder. Pull that left shoulder down again. Did it sneak up? Dang it. Sneaky shoulders. Last breath. And now we're going to bend the right knee. Keeping the left shoulder down, reach back. Can you catch your foot and pull it into your body? Now you may not be able to pull it in this close. Just catch the pant if you can catch the ankles. But I'm keeping that left shoulder down. If this is too intense for you, all you got to do is lie the head down on the floor. You fold the left arm in. Eventually you'll be able to turn your elbow pit into a foot warmer. So I see this little blue egg-like thing, and I think, what the heck is that, an egg, or is it that chapstick? And it turns out it was a bird. It's a very bright blue bird. I haven't figured out what it is yet. It's either an indigo bunting or a eastern bluebird, mountain bluebird, something like that. Squeeze your right button, see if you can get that right thigh off the floor. Right hip is down. Lifting the right leg, 3, 2, beautiful. Relax the right leg. Elbows walk back to the center. Slide those elbows out. Head down. Check it out. All right, here we go for second side. Slide the elbows underneath. Walk your elbows over to the left now. Relax your belly. Close your eyes, see if you can expand your breath into the right side of the waist. Relax your legs. That left hip is down, the right hip is down. All right, you keep pushing through the right elbow. Take this left hand, you slide it to flat and close to the left hip. Without picking up either hip, I push through this right elbow, push through the left hand, twist the upper body, try to look over the left shoulder. And now we bend the left knee. The best you can, you reach back, thumbs up, catch it first. You pull that left foot into the body. I'm still driving through the right elbow. Set the hand down head down on the hand if you need to. And now you squeeze the left buns. Can you get that left thigh off the ground? Still pushing through the right elbow. Chest is still up for 3, 2, inhale. 1, you let go of that left leg. Oh, yay. Elbows come back to center. Forearms parallel. Push through the hands, you straighten the arms. Tick-tock your head, check out the neck. You can tick-tock the upper body along with it. And then we come back to neutral. Pushing down through the hands, I arch my chest up even more. And now try to pull the lower body forward as the head and shoulders reach back. Bend the elbows slightly, squeeze the elbows in, pull, pull, pull with the hands. 3, 2, try to keep the head right where it is. We slide the hands onto the hips. Notice the angle of the head. We want to feel for if the neck, the back of the neck is crunched. Because remember, this is the thing that impedes nerve supply, blood flow to the arms. Keep the back of the neck long. The head doesn't move independent, so there's no neck movement, so to speak. But I'm hinging on the hips, lifting and lowering the upper body. Keep breathing. Last 2. Upper body stays up. Hands side to flat on the floor, right by the hips. You straighten the arms, push up into up dog. Let me tick-tock, turn the body left to right. Oh, feeling the difference. Gripping with the hands, you're not passively grinding your wrist bones into the floor. Check out your pants. Make sure they're on straight. Very good. And then you come back to center. Close your eyes. 2 more huge inhales. Relaxing the belly to the floor. Puffing the chest up in between the arms. 3, 2. Now leading with the hips. I push the hips back, push through the hands, and now we're back onto hands and knees. Wiggle the hips. I'm going to have you face away from me for lying over a block. If you are new to lying over a block, you can, of course, watch this. And what new means is the first 100 times you've done this. You set your block behind you about a hang ten's distance. So where the tailbone ends, I set my thumb. And then where my pinky ends, I set the block. And the most important part of lying over a block is that you don't let your hips come up. Your hips are going to want to come up. You don't let them. Keep the hips down. And then you lie back. If you have a sense that this is going to be challenging for you, grab another block. But we don't want to sit up from lying over a block. In a moment, I'm going to have you roll over to one side. And that's how you shall get up from over a block. So if you need to readjust, First of all, you probably don't need to readjust. This is uncomfortable, and there is no right place for a block to be. And we change it. So sometimes we do a fist width, sometimes we do a hand's length. There's not a wrong place to put it. We tend to line up our beginner classes with the hang ten distance because most of our posture comes from the thoracic vertebrae, which is about where the block is ending for you. That's where most people are the slouchiest. And now there's not much to do other than breathe. If this is hard, you might notice a tendency to get out of it, sort of wiggle around. If this is easy, you might notice an inability to sort of sit with it. So you don't try to fix or change any way that you are, like we said earlier. Instead, you close your eyes and you just notice. Notice the thoughts that pop up. Notice any emotion that comes up. I want to feel all of that. Try to expand the rib cage. Try to get the chest to move with each breath. And now you push your hips into the floor. Keeping the legs straight, you start to lighten the touch of your legs on the floor. And can you get the legs to hover above the ground an inch? So my calves are still lightly touching. Hips push down, arch up. Can you inhale? Without the feet touching the ground, you bend the knees, take the heels closer to your derriere. Tick-tock the knees side to side. I'm rolling onto my right cheek. And then the left cheek as the knees at tick-tock in unison. Perfect. Back to center with the knees. Don't let the knees scroll away from you. You keep the knees right where they are. Try to straighten the shins to vertical. Notice lower back pushed into the block. Can you keep arching the lower back up? Ooh. 3, 2. Bend the knees again. Set the feet on the floor as wide as a mat. And now we tick-tock the knees. Feet are down as wide as the mat. Dropping the knees left to right. Now the next time the knees get to the left, you're going to keep them there. So again, if your feet aren't mat width apart, it will make this weird. So feet have to be that distance. You drop the knees to the left, and we're going to roll all the way over. Take the elbows underneath the shoulders. So we're in a twist. So my left foot should not be underneath the right leg. And if you look down at your left thigh, that thigh should be parallel with the edge of your mat. Or rather, the forearms, if you take the forearms parallel, they should be perpendicular to the left thigh. Drape the left side of the waist towards the ground, and then we walk elbows over to the left. And as you walk your elbows over to the left, take your shoulders with you. So I didn't leave my shoulders rightward. Pushing through the right elbow and pushing through that left elbow, trying to get the shoulders over to the left. And then right about where the elbows are, you set the hands. Push down through your left arm. I pull my left shoulder back, turn the chest. Wiggle your right toes. And then if that block is in your way, you scooch it out of the way. And then we do our kerflop. So that left arm is going to cross the mat. You roll onto your back. Legs sprawled out. Close your eyes. 2 breaths. You feel the difference. And now you bend the knees again. With the feet wide. 1 or 2 tick-tocks. Still comparing. And then you drop the knees over to the right. Elbows come underneath the shoulders. And then we mosey. Open up the twist. I walk my elbows to the right a little bit further, but I don't let the hips come with me, so I'm walking elbows away from the hips. And then as you breathe, you just notice any constraint. There is a difference from breathing in your twist and anywhere else you breathe in life. Twisting is, we've gotten rid of a lot of the normal mechanics you use for breathing. If you think about a towel being wrung out, that's what we're doing to your torso right now. And the important thing about twisting is that it's not just any old twist. If you twist while you slouch, that causes a lot of dysfunction, and it's how most people throw out their back. They slouch while twisting, and then they pick up something heavy, which loads muscles, the particular muscles of the back, in a long and weak position, and your back goes twang. And so the upper body, if you were to draw like a shape of our lower back to the head right now, we're in a back bend. A very important distinction for twisting. 1 more breath. And then hands underneath the shoulders. Push through the right arm. Pull the right shoulder back. We come up on the left hand fingertips. Continue to pull the right shoulder back, arch up. Relax the waist. Relax the right side of the body. Breathe into it. Awesome. Keeping the chest up, we're going to take the left leg forward. And we're going to slowly make our way all the way up to standing. Slow and easy. And we'll go ahead and walk all the way over to a wall. We'll have the hips about 6 inches away from the wall, the feet about 6 inches away from the wall. The hips, the head, the shoulders are very much on the wall, and you stand up nice and tall. Remember, if you ever feel lightheaded when we stand up from being on the ground for a while, that's normal. If ever you're worried about something like that, you go see a doctor, but we treat it as normal until otherwise noted. You tick-tock the head. That being said, let's go ahead and do bad waiters. Palms face up. Try to point the thumbs to the floor. Reach the wrists apart. Try to touch the thumbs to the wall behind you. Heads back, shoulders back, hips back, but we're trying to get the thumbs to the wall. And now you keep the thumbs super glued. Even if they can't get to the wall, you imagine they're super glued wherever they are. Reach the elbows forward like you can get the knuckles of your hands onto the wall. Slide the shoulder blades down. And now draw the belly button straight in towards the back. So notice I didn't change my spine to do that. There's muscles across the front of the body called transversus abdominis. They are very important for your back to be healthy. So if you can't feel what that is, if you can't connect to it, that's your homework. So I'm pulling that lower back, I'm pulling the belly towards lower back from the inside. Elbows are reaching forward, shoulders down. Now can you slide your head up the wall? Can you be taller? So we're reaching the head up, the shoulders are pulling down. Huge inhales. One more breath. Beautiful. Don't change anything about your posture, just relax your arms. Shift the body away from the wall, so now you're standing over the feet. So wonderful to have you guys here. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Angela, for showing up. It's awesome to have you. And everyone else who didn't say hello, you're always welcome to. But it's okay if you don't. Self high fives. Thank you. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time.